I really should. All right, welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. State your name. Where you from?
Hey, my name is Fred, and I'm from Canada.
From Canada. You currently live in Canada?
Yeah.
Okay, Fred. And what you here to debate about?
Well, before I explain or give my statement, I would like to ask you some questions because I haven't watched enough of your content to understand exactly your position. Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. When I do debates, since you are more prepared than I am, I like to at least know exactly what we're debating about. But I guess questions is fine so you can understand my worldview. Sure, go ahead.
Fair enough. So first, I would like to ask you, have you read the Bible?
Yeah, I read the Bible like 1.5 times. More like
Okay.
once. Once I didn't get fully through the whole thing the second time, not even half of it. But yeah.
Okay. And well, it's just because my position goes against, I would say, the majority of the Christian understanding of the Bible, and I suspect you are evangelical, correct?
Uh nah, I'm just a nigga with a podcast, man. And I come at
Okay.
things from a logical perspective. I
I
would
like
say
that.
that I do believe in Jesus Christ. That's my belief though. Like if I had to believe in something, um, it wouldn't be Muhammad, it wouldn't be Buddha, it wouldn't be nothing like atheists, it wouldn't be nothing. It would be Jesus Christ. So I would say that his story is more appealing. And why would I root for, why would I believe in something that's not the most powerful? Jesus had powers, the other prophets and people never had powers. So I think that's a better story for me. So yeah, it's like Superman or Batman. I'm always going to go with a Superman.
I agree. We
Yeah.
need to pick the winner, the one that wins at the end of the story. 100% is Jesus Christ. So yeah, it's just let me explain my point of view and let me know what you think about that.
Okay,
Uh,
so you stated that you do not believe in, like, you're not. Are you atheist? What's your belief?
Okay, I'm a Christian, and
Okay,
I believe in 100% of the Bible. It's just that I do interpret it differently than I would say
I'm Christians.
95% of Christians.
Okay,
So
cool.
the big difference here is that I disagree that the law of the Old Testament is nullified in the New Testament, or that Christians do not need to follow it.
Okay, so Christians do not need to follow the Old Testament.
Yes. I don't know if that's your topic, like a topic that you are comfortable with or that you are knowledgeable on. Let me know.
I mean, I know some scriptures and stuff like that, but okay. So you believe that Christians do not need to follow the Old Testament. So the teachings that's in the Old Testament do not need to be adhered to.
No, it's the opposite. I believe that Christians today shouldn't have forsaken the observance of the law, not as a means of salvation, but as a means of a way of life.
Okay. Okay. So it's the opposite. So you believe that Christians should also follow the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Okay. No, that makes sense. That's coherent with my beliefs, I would say too.
Impressive. Well, I mean, there's not much of a debate here if that's the case. Do you observe, let's say, I'll just start with the fourth commandment. Let's say, do you think that the Sabbath is still to be observed today?
When it comes, so I'll give you a little bit more of my religious background and stuff like that. And when it comes to the Sabbath, yeah, I think that that should still be upheld today. I don't see why not.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. Well, I'm probably going to be the most boring debate of your night. I'll watch the whole thing. I'll keep watching your stream. I really
Okay.
like what you do and your work. And you know what? there's not much to talk about if you're already leaning towards that direction. I do agree with Christians. I love Christians, and I just think that they should pay a little bit more attention to the instructions in the Old Testament more than they do.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, like, so here's how I look at things. Religion is like, there's a lot of these practices in religion and, these traditions in religion. When Jesus came, there's many, I could quote many things in the New Testament. He's like, get rid of the traditions and stuff like that. I'm the law. It does. He never said so. I don't remember. I can't quote it verbatim, but one of the passages where Jesus came and he said, even if you look at the woman with lustful eyes, you are committing adultery. Like, cut out your eye if you're going to do that. So he's not saying like, committing adultery was bad, right? That was bad in the Old Testament. Do not commit adultery. But how men would view this and their practices back then was like, okay, I can't cheat, but maybe I can masturbate to some chick that I have in my mind. I can't cheat, but maybe I can still flirt with a woman and have some sexual desires for her. But we know that, actions is important, but we know that our intent is important as well. And we know that the mind itself is very important. So before we can do the action of not cheating, not committing adultery, but what's your intent behind it? Are you doing it just because you want to obey the commandments, or because God said so, or are you doing it because that's like not in your heart? You're not. That's not you. You know what I'm saying? So I think when Jesus came, he the law was still there, but it was like he took it a step further. You know what I mean? So I think that the Old Testament is still valid, but I think that, Jesus came to psychoanalyze us a little bit and was like, you need to get even closer to me. So
I
yeah,
would
that's my thoughts on
agree.
it.
Like I would say 100%. I would just like to add something about that. Is
Sure.
that you're right that he came to do away with traditions also. And what was, if you look at the first century, you had Sadducees, Pharisees, Essenes, Zealots. Those are all denominations of Judaism in the first century. And they all believed different things. And you can see in the gospel where, or in the Paul's letters, or in the book of Acts, to be fair, where Paul is taking advantage of the beliefs of the Sadducees because they did not believe in the resurrection of the dead. And he says, it takes advantage of that. And anyways, that being said, when Jesus, or his Hebrew name Yeshua, when he was the biggest thing that he had against the Pharisees is that they were upholding man's traditions above God's law. A good example of that is when they came to challenge him, saying, "Why do your disciples eat with unclean hands? They don't wash their hands." And then he says, Isaiah did well to prophesy against you hypocrites. You elevate the commandments of man. By doing that, you negate the law of God. So a lot of his ministry, Yeshua, he did not correct the Pharisees because they were elevating the law of God. That's not what they were not interpreting it well, and they were also elevating commandments of man. And I feel like religion, like modern religion, has done that a lot. If you look at Catholicism, even like many denomination of Christians, they do teach other things. But I preach. I think that we should start by observing all 10 commandments, which includes the Sabbath, and
Yeah, well,
also
and the Sabbath is logically consistent with Genesis. Like God created the world in 6 days and rested on the seventh. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, that's logically consistent with the Old Testament. So how I look at it is I kind of try to use logic when I'm reading scriptures to interpretate things to, make sure I'm on the right track. And, even when you think about it, I think that's uh, one of the commandments, because as men, we could be on our purpose so much and motivated. And, men, we created most of the things in this modern world. And, even before the modern world, we create. We have this natural propensity to get out there and create because we have this natural proclivity to compete with one another. As you see, when little boys are growing up, everything that little boys play is a competition. There's a clear winner and a loser, no matter what they play. They never really play anything where it's like, oh, everything is just equal, or they just play to play. No, it's like, no, I want to be better than you. No, I want to be better than you. That's the nature of man. Women, they're different. They'll play things like hopscotch and house, and there's no clear winner or loser. They just play to play because they like the social aspect of it. So since God over man, man over woman, woman over children, and men create everything, we can have this. It's in us to work 7 days a week. Why wouldn't we work 7 days a week? We want to meet these goals. We want to go out there and get it, right? And sometimes we can be working so much where we would lose our path from why we're doing it, which is our children, our family, our community. And we could just be on this path of wanting to create, to be the best out there, to be a king. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a way, the Sabbath is a way like, listen, even God in Genesis, even I rested. You rest too. Don't get overwhelmed with working and stuff like that. Everyone needs a rest day. You're a human being. You're not a robot. Go ahead and take that rest day. So, yeah, that's just my logical thoughts on that. But listen, man, good discussion. I mean, this wasn't a debate, but I appreciate the good questions and the good spirited conversation.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, man. And I wish you the best of your night. And I'll just pray that all your followers be blessed right now in the name of Jesus.
Appreciate that, man. Have a blessed one.
Take care.